Welcome to the Bucs Gambling Show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Over, under, Vegas spread picks. Let's get this money. Just a reminder, live call-in show Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Come hang out with your boy. First game, we got the Houston Texans at the Baltimore Ravens. Over, under, 44, over. I absolutely love this over. Do I want to bet it? No. But I think Stroud comes in here, and I think he's able to get the Texans into the 20s. And I do think the Ravens will start slow in this game. I have a ton of respect for the Ravens offense, Lamar Jackson, and I absolutely love this Ravens defense. But I do think the Ravens start slow. That's why it's not a money pick. But I see both teams getting into the 20s. Like I see like a 27-23 type game. An interesting facet of this game for me is these Texans wide receivers against this Ravens secondary. I feel like this Ravens secondary hasn't gotten enough credit this whole year. I know we want to talk about Lamar. I know we want to talk about the Ravens' big plays, but for me, the secondary of this Ravens team has been an absolute problem. But that's where this comes back to Stroud. Stroud is my hypothesis, and I think he'll make plays out of nothing. And can I be honest, man? I mean, we've been betting Stroud the whole year. Unfortunately, we weren't on him last week. But did anyone else feel like that was Stroud's B- game? Imagine if we see Stroud's A- game against the Ravens. This is going to go over. The first half spread is 23. I'm going under there. That's one I would seriously consider betting. Next game, we got the Green Bay Packers at the San Francisco 49ers. Over, under, 50. Money, money, money. Money, borderline money pick. I'm going under the 50, but listen closely. The money pick is on the team total, 20.5 for the Packers. I'm going under, and it's been a cute ride. It's been a nice Cinderella story, and I'm glad everyone's thinking Jordan Love is going to be an elite quarterback and that Matt LaFleur is a great coach. I'll let you guys think that. And what they did against the Cowboys last week, I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but I feel like the Cowboys rolled down more than the Packers got up and pounded them. That's just how I feel about it. And I'm not getting emotional because I see one or two good weeks when we have an other sample size of 16, 17 games we can analyze and judge. I think this 49ers defense comes out in an absolute warpath, and I think people are forgetting what type of unit this 49ers defense is. We know they rested a lot of starters against the Rams. We know they started to get banged up around the week 15, week 16 spot. So they come off a long rest. I think Shanahan will have these boys dialed up on both sides of the ball. I absolutely love the under for the Packers. Now, there is a worry that this game gets into some sort of garbage time. You do worry about that because we know when the 49ers are at the top of their game, look at what they did to the Eagles. Look at what they did to the Cowboys. We know it could turn into a garbage time type game, but I'm betting on the 49ers defense here. Give me the under 20.5. And as for the under 50 for the full game, I think the 49ers can get into the 30s here. I think Shanahan, 2 weeks to game plan, Purdy getting back to full health. And you do wonder, man, are the Packers able to stop Christian McCaffrey? I don't think that's going to happen. But the money pick is on the under 20.5 team total for the Packers. Next game, we got the Tampa Bay Bucs at the Detroit Lions. Campbell. Over, under, 48.5. Money, money, money. Money. Absolutely love the under. I was one of the few people who was on the under for that Rams game. And I don't think people put enough respect on Detroit last week. Listen, if you picked the Rams with the spread, I was fine with that. But I was not fine with all the people saying Detroit's going to get washed out of this because Laporta got banged up the week before. I think this Lions team does what they do best. They play physical football. They play with a high level of tenacity. And I think that's enough to stymie a Bucs offense. Yes, this Bucs offense was absolutely miraculous against the Eagles. Let's not take anything away. But also, you can say some things about the Lions defense. Like, they don't cover all that good. They're not as athletic as other teams, but one thing they do is they tackle an open field, and they're not going to be giving presents like Santa Claus like the Eagles did on Monday night. That was absolutely pathetic. And we have seen a different Baker Mayfield, especially the second half of this year. But I do think the Lions are going to be able to rush the passer. I do think they're going to get pressure. Outside of Hutchinson, we know they don't have any big names. Like, Kaminsky plays well. They got some other guys, but everyone plays their role. And I don't think people should underestimate this Detroit home field advantage in Ford Field. I got to be honest with you, man. And I'm not saying this because the Lions won us so much money over the last 3 or 4 years. That was one of the most electrifying home fields I've seen in my 30 years of watching the NFL. I think Baker will have a few false starts on the offensive line. I don't know if the Bucs get into rhythm, but I also think this Bucs defense can stop the Lions' run game. That's what you need to do against the Lions. The Lions have been absolutely phenomenal last 6-7 weeks running the ball. Now that the offensive line got healthy, I feel like an X factor for me going under the 48.5 is Big Vita Vea in the middle. I think he clogged space. Like, listen, I'm not saying they're going to completely shut down the Lions run game, but I don't think they're going off for 150 or 170. I think we're going to see more Gibbs to Montgomery for the player prop, bros. Just letting you guys know. Under, make it a damn money pick. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Buffalo Bills. Over, under 46. Under. I don't know if there's anything we can do with it. Because when I was looking at the score, some of you guys like me to give the score of the game. I see a 24-21 win for the Bills. And that's why that 2.5 was so important on Tuesday when we picked the fucking game. I do see both teams playing good defensively. I've liked what we've seen all year from the Chiefs defense, and I like what we've seen the last 5-6 weeks from the Bills defense. We know this Bills defense has had a laundry list of injuries, but they seem to be getting back to rhythm. And I'm looking at this Chiefs receiving corps. Do they got enough dogs? And I've been saying the whole year they don't. And last year I took egg in the face. We know what Mahomes did. We know what Kelsey did. But I still think it's a glaring issue. Like, this isn't 80-2, guys. You need a legit receiver, even if you have an elite tight end. And I'm just not saying a legit receiver on that Chiefs roster. You could put a 75 overall in Madden, and he would eat and get stats with Pat Mahomes. It doesn't mean he's going to create separation against the Bills team that will be ready to go. And we got a Bills team, man. Everything's breaking their way. And sometimes when Lady Luck is calling you, you got to keep riding the dragon. Why would you get off when everything's going their way? Look at all the things that went their way. The game against Pittsburgh, canceled. When there's going to be 50-mile-per-hour winds, canceled. We saw how they were able to go down to Miami and play them at night. This is just a team that is finding their stride. They're playing better, and you're looking at James Cook running the ball well, but they're also getting a little bit of luck. And that's not me sandbagging. That's not me hating. In this league, you do need a little bit of lady luck. Winning these Super Bowls isn't fucking easy. So I see a 24-21 game. I do have some issues with the Bills' offense still. Looks like Gabe Davis is coming back. I think that'll help, but I'm going under the 46. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. The best gambling show on the internet. I had to leave the other studio, man, because we were getting a weird echo all year. Your boy will figure it out. I'll show the studio on Instagram for you guys to understand it. It's a very weird room. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. The best gambling show on the internet.